Choose Your Legend 7 has been revealed. In this video, we'll go over all the info we got, and I'll do my best to summarize each unit's kit. We have some exciting and or scary new effects, including some Fire Emblem Engage inspired skills. I'll do a proper banner breakdown once the banner releases, and we'll clear up anything unknown by then. For now, I'm going to try to keep things brief and share my first impressions. If you're unaware, Choose Your Legends is a yearly event where the community gets to vote for 2 boys and 2 girls. The winner gets special Brave ults, which is what this banner is for, and these units are generally quite strong and or pretty unique. This year, the winners were Soren, male Robin, Gullveig, and female Corrin. First up, Brave female Corrin. In case you were wondering, Generation 8 base stat totals are happening, and Corrin is once again a dragon, so she did get the trainee boost. Brave Corrin is a colorless armored dragon, which means instead of landing at the new around 200 BST power creep, we skipped ahead to 205. That will be the baseline for Gen 9 melee army units next year. Now, Corrin is extremely fast, tying for fastest armor in the game. She will sacrifice other stats though. She only has 42 HP, 37 defense, and 40 res. 40 base attack isn't bad, but it's also on the lower side for an army unit. However, Corrin has lots of damage reduction in her kit, so she's still going to be an incredibly annoying unit. Her weapon is going to be the Valor Stone. It has Slaying, inflicts -5 debuffs to all the foe's stats, grants full no follow-up effects, and reduces all damage by 30% except AoE specials. Nothing too crazy so far. Well, after Corrin ends turn, she applies Divine Vein Stone to all spaces within 2 spaces for 1 turn. For those of you who played Engage, Emblem Corrin's Dragon Vein ability is making its way into Fae. Taking inspiration from Fates, Heroes is adding ways to create new terrain effects on the map. Currently, these Divine Veins seem to follow Engage's naming structure. For example, Dragon Vein on backup units created stone pillars, and these boosted defense and res. Same idea for the stone terrain in Fae, and then, spoiler, we have another terrain type on this banner. This is a very neat concept to add to the game, but boy, it's another layer of power creep to worry about. Now, for Divine Vein Stone, this grants +60 res to allies in combat. It reduces foes' special damage by 10, and reduces area effect specials by 50%. We then have a whole bunch of rules for Divine Veins. 1, they do not stack. 2, they replace any existing Divine Veins on that space. 3, if multiple Divine Vein skills were to apply simultaneously, they cancel each other out. 4, these are not considered defense tiles. Boiling it down, Brave Corrin and team just get tankier. For her unique A skill, Realms United, Corrin gets Distant Counter. She can then inflict -7 to all the foe's stats and reduces damage from the foe's first attacks by 7 during combat. This includes the first 2 Brave hits. Whoever writes these descriptions, I swear, just put first attacks with an S. Now, nothing too crazy here either. Brave Corrin gets built-in Distant Counter, and that's because she has Far Save. She also has Armored Flow, meaning unpierceable % DR versus ranged foes with that 7 flat DR. Ideally, Corrin should not be getting doubled. To pile on the counterattack build, we have a new B skill, Counter Roar 4. By the name, this could be a dragon-only skill, I don't know though. It inflicts -4 attack and speed, reduces damage from foes' first attacks by 30%, and then empowers the unit's counterattack based on 30% of the foe's attack damage prior to reductions. Restores 7 HP after combat. This is essentially a different flavor of Brash Assault 4, trades damage for defense, but Counter Roar works on both phases. Now, I want to clear something up because it's relevant to Brash 4 as well. Brash Assault 4's empowered counterattack does not work like the other Reflect type effects. The initial description was misleading, and it has since been changed to how Counter Roar is worded. Basically, all other Reflect type counters included all sources of damage reduction. This meant if you had 2 DR effects that totaled for 70% damage reduction, your counter added 70% of the total damage you would have taken. For Brash Assault 4 and now Counter Roar, the reflected damage caps at 30% only. Brave Corrin has multiple % DR effects, but Counter Roar only adds 30% of the damage she would have taken before calculations. Interested to see who else can run this skill? If it is a dragon exclusive, it's a bit similar to Dragon's Wrath. Maybe it's for beast and dragons, or maybe a lot more units can run this skill. For instance, Brash Assault has 0 restrictions. Overall, Brave Corrin, definitely another Dragon Corrin, incredibly fast, trades her unique defensive special for Armored Flow, but still adds some flat DR to pair with the percent DR, and an empowered counterattack. She has distant counter plus far save, but with her speed and no follow-up, Corrin can definitely put on the pressure for player phase if needed. Divine Veins are a new game mechanic, and the 50% AoE protection is a bit unique. Really not looking forward to fighting her, kind of like all the other Dragon Corrins. Next up is Brave Soren. He is running it back as a green infantry mage once again, and has a very Soren-esque stat spread. 40 HP, 46 attack, 34 speed, 16 defense, 47 resistance, very similar to the Kadean Soren from earlier this year. Much like Corrin's Dragon Veins, Brave Soren is also taking some inspiration from his emblem form in Engage. He is bringing over Assign Decoy. Every turn, Soren gives his support partner or the highest defense ally full +6 field buffs and the Assign Decoy status. This gives Soren's ally Savior if the attacker matches the ally's attack range. Basically, melee units get near save, ranged units get bar save. I'm not sure if it counts distant or close counter, but I'm pretty sure it does not. Now, this won't trigger if the ally has a savior effect already. This means you gotta be careful about your team if you don't assign that support partner. Now, this is Soren's only support aspect, but dear lord, it's a good one. You can make any godly infantry unit into a savior unit now. Now, for other perks, Soren's Archsage Tome grants excited specials, +5 stats, and the ally-based bonus Delaware effect. He then gets Dragon Wall damage reduction. For his unique A skill, Rare Talent, Soren gets +7 to all stats and disables adaptive damage effects. In combat, he does a res check. If he has higher resistance than the foe, Soren gets no guard. If he has 10 or more res and either the foe is ranged or Soren initiates, he gets Brave Attacks. Pretty decent selection of combat perks. Soren will need to stack resistance because you want Brave Attacks into those scary high res tanks. He can attack dragons safely, plus you got no guard, and Dragon Wall just in case. Now Soren also gets Magic No Follow for partial DR piercing, plus he gets Times Pulse 4. Soren will love Times Pulse, Slaying, and No Guard because he brings Flare with him. This was present on Emblem Soren and is from the Tellius games. High chance Flare is our inheritable mage special because serial units pretty much only get 2 new unique skills. Flare is not going to pierce damage reduction skills though, if that's what you're hoping for. Instead, it is a 3 cooldown special that boosts damage by 60% of the foe's resistance when the user is above 70% HP. If you're under 70%, you deal a lower 40% of the foe's resistance, but you also heal 30% max HP. If you're healthy, Flare is basically a stronger Luna by 10%. Might not be a huge improvement, but it's also probably a 500 SP special for those that care about arena score. I'm not sure how many Glass Cannon mages are going to run Flare over their 2 cooldown options, depends on special charging needs. Flare is definitely more interesting for mages who can take a hit or two. It has % max HP healing, which is neat, and mages have gotten more damage reduction skills as of late. I would say it's a fun pick for armored mages, but those guys also just kind of have Armored Beacon or Flow, so it depends. Overall, Brave Soren is gonna be an interesting unit. Assign Decoy is gonna cause some issues, for sure. For his personal damage, you have a potential Brave attacker who has Flare on 1 cooldown with no guard. That means Soren can proc Flare on Brave hit number 2. He has half DR piercing and no follow-up, with against slow units, that means he has quad potential. Soren's gonna have extremely high resistance, but you need to keep it high to get those Brave hits. His base defense is awful again, but he does get +13 to all stats, and he can get more with buffed allies, plus he has that Dragon Wall. Better odds of survival than most. Our next Brave hero is Gullveig. Chosen before Book 7 really got going, Brave Gullveig could potentially be an interesting insert into the main plot. I doubt they're going to do anything with her, but it would have been cool if this alt was involved with the main story since it's not over yet. Now, as a unit, Gullveig is a blue mage this time and is going to be a flying mage as well. Stats are similar to her Book 7 form, kinda Glass Cannon-y with 40 HP, 45 attack, 47 speed, 27 defense, 19 res. Assuming those stats stick, I believe she will be the fastest mage in the game, at least for base stats. For her weapon, the Cycle's Turn, it grants Kanto 1 and accelerates specials. If Gullveig initiates or has a bonus, she can get +5 to all stats, and then another +10 attack and speed. She will gain +2 attack and speed every turn, maxing out at 5 turns. Gullveig will then get 20% speed as true damage on hit. She has full no follow-up effects as well. Nothing too special here, lots of attack and speed, no follow-up to abuse that speed, and Console 1 for safety. For her unique B skill, Gold Unwinding, inflict -5 speed and res on the foe. If Govik has over half health and initiates combat, she gets 60% DR for 1 hit. After initiating, she gets her Gale Force extra action with 1 movement only, similar to Leap's unique special. This Gale Force action has a 2-turn cooldown. You're going to want to pay attention to that because Govik can set up some crazy plays with her A skill. Slightly worrisome, Flared Sparrow is inheritable. Not sure if this is a ranged only option or what, but this is going to be our second source of Divine Vein terrain effects. If unit initiates, deals 7 damage as combat begins. This is new, and it's not affected by any damage reduction. As expected, the user is going to get +7 attack and speed, and after combat, you apply Divine Vein Flame on 5 spaces in a line centered on the foe space for 1 turn. This is 2 spaces to the left of the foe, 2 spaces to the right, and on their current space. Divine Vein Flame is a bit wild. I want to test it out more, but it appears to be like a trench tile but for ranged foes. It costs extra movement for them to move over, and it even ignores the cannot be slowed by terrain status, which is super ironic. Now, at start of enemy phase, any foe on the flame tile takes 7 damage. If they fight on the flame tile, they take another 7 damage in combat. Regarding the slowed movement, will this affect flyers? It won't stop warping, but limiting movement is always powerful. Imagine multiple users of Flared Sparrow throwing down lines of flame tiles. Well, you don't have to imagine, because that's kind of Govik's game plan. With her extra action, she can lay down 2 sets of flame tiles. You can also proc these 7 damage at start of combat twice on 1 enemy. That being said, I'm a little worried about Brave Govik. She doesn't have Brave Attacks, extra cooldown, or DR Piercing like Soren. She doesn't have Fire Sweep either. She has to take a counter if her first hit doesn't KO. 60% DR is nice, but is that enough to tank a basic or a special? She has no guard either, so a Slaying Bonfire counter is open. She also has no healing, and the Gale Force action's on a 2-turn cooldown. This means you gotta make Govik's initiations really count. She has a lot of damage, especially if she gets to Free Fire with extra Gale Force action, but I am concerned. She has attack and speed Oath 4 by default, which is good, but maybe pivoting to the tier 4 guidance skills might be another idea for her. Last up for today is Brave Male Robin. He's a sword infantry unit, and yes, we have another speedy swordmaster to fight. Still no Levin sword, but Brave Robin is certainly a bit unique. I applaud how creative his kit is. For stats, our Tactician will have 40 HP, 46 attack, 45 speed, 35 defense, and 27 res. This Robin is not slow at all and can dish out the damage in some interesting ways. His sword is the Deliverer's Brand, grants +3 speed, and actually has no slaying built in. This is actually by design. If healthy, Robin will get +5 to all stats and 40% DR for 1 hit. He has full tempo effects, and if he has a special with 3 or more max cooldown, and it's a damage special, then Robin pierces %DR skills on special trigger. Last part, very unique. If Robin uses Bonfire or Ignis, he gets adaptive damage on that special trigger. He will have Ignis by default. In Fae, Ignis has been turned into a defense scaling special. However, it is the unique skill of Robin's Grandmaster class in the main games, and it adds extra damage using his magic stat when you're using physical weapons like swords, or it adds damage with the strength stat when you're using magical weapons like your tomes. This is why in Engage, Saline has Ignis as her unique class's skill since she's the magical swordswoman like Robin. To simulate the effects in Fae, Robin's gonna get adaptive damage. How are we gonna charge a 4 cooldown special though? Robin will tip the scales with his unique C skill. At start of turn, grant Rally Spectrum to Robin and allies within 2 spaces. Robin gets to warp to allies with Rally Spectrum if they are within a stupid 5 spaces. Now, if he fights near allies, he's also gonna get another +3 stats in combat. As for Rally Spectrum, this status is pretty nuts. It grants +5 to all stats in combat. It is not a rally field buff. If the user has a damage special, during combat before their first attack, they will get -2 cooldown. If they have a brave weapon effect or specials, they only get -1 cooldown. Still amazing. For Robin, he initiates. Before his attack, he gets that -2 cooldown on Ignis. With the basic attack, he lands, and no guard, he will get to 1 cooldown. The enemy will hit back, this will charge Ignis. Robin's second attack unleashes the special. This works if the foe initiates as well. However, like many units, this year Brave Robin has no follow-up skills. The devs are hell-bent on making you get those effects from elsewhere. Well, wouldn't it be convenient if a certain Exalt came with such a skill to support Robin? Both Brave and Fallen Chrom have infantry speed tactic. Problem solved. Chrom can then initiate with his long range, and Robin can warp to Chrom from 5 spaces away. It's kinda crazy. Brave Robin will have attack and speed finish to complement his kit. You may not get double procs though. He then has a new inheritable B skill called Gambit 4. Inflict -4 speed and defense on the foe. With any specials except Gale Force, the AoE specials, unit will deal true damage on hit equal to the max special cooldown value -2 times 5. If you were to have a 1 or 2 cooldown special, you get no bonus damage. 3 cooldown specials get you 5 damage. 5 cooldown Aether gets you 15 damage. Additionally, you get %DR for all attacks equal to the max special cooldown value times 10. 1 cooldown specials get you 10% DR. 5 cooldown Aether gets you your 50% damage reduction. Not only is Robin encouraged to run Bonfire or Ignis, but Gambit 4 rewards higher cooldown specials. With Ignis, Robin gets 40% DR for all attacks. That stacks with his weapons 1 time 40% DR. He then deals 10 true damage on all his hits in combat. I'm quite impressed with Brave Robin's design. He's another speedy swordmaster, but he gets rewarded for running the higher cooldown specials and has different ways to deal damage. Full DR piercing on specials, but only for 3 or higher cooldown ones. Adaptive damage on your special, but only with Bonfire or Ignis. Rally Spectrum makes up for the loss of slaying, and then Gambit is stronger with the higher cooldown options too. The Gambit being, you risk not proccing your special, but if that's not an issue, then you're rewarded more. I'm very tempted to pick Robin for my free pick, but I'll think about it more. I mentioned Brave and Fallen Chrom for team picks, but whenever cooldown is involved, you absolutely cannot leave out Duo Chrom. Nothing stopping you from running Mr. Legendary Male Robin at the same time either. Now this CYO banner will be up in a couple days. It lasts for almost a whole month, so you got time to save up orbs. Like usual, you can spark the banner 4 times. You can only choose each winner 1 time with each spark though. Now there will also be the free pick as expected. For new players, you literally get to choose anyone, so make it count. If you're summoning a lot, what I'd like to do is I save my free pick for later. See who you get from the banner, use your sparks, and then use the free pick after to get someone you don't have or someone you absolutely want. You can sit on this for 2 years, so if you want to see how each winner plays out, then you can. As such, with a new CYO free pick open, the CYO 5 free pick is ending this month. New players only get free picks from the 2 latest CYO groups. If you haven't done so, do select someone before the month ends. Now we do have another new unit joining us, and that's the accompanying Grand Hero Battle. Cyril joins the party with his time skip self. He's a red infantry archer with some pretty great offensive stats, and I believe he also has the trainee BST bonus. He has sudden panic, which is neat for support options, and then weapon speed and defense, which is whatever. Cyril then gets his own unique bow. Let us hope he follows in Geralt's footsteps. It seems to grant +10 to all stats, but not sure what else this weapon does. If anything, Cyril can easily run either Arcane Bow or the good old Whitecap Bow. Should easily be usable as a free-to-play unit. Now, Cyril's Grand Hero Battle will start the day after the banner releases. We'll talk about it more then. As with every new base stat total generation, the Dragonflower limit is going up. Every BST group moves up 5 Dragonflowers, meaning +1 to each stat. The new Gen 8 units will be stuck on 1 set of Dragonflowers for now. To help prepare, we are getting an extra 1,000 Dragonflowers of each kind in the next Forging Bonds event. Definitely be sure to finish out those rewards. Last bit of news, there's a special web event with some extra side stories involving our new Brave heroes. I'll link that in the description for you to check out on your own. That will be it for this brief rundown of the Choose Your Legend 7 winners. Engage shows its influence, and terrain effects seem to be the next new mechanic for Fae. From a gameplay perspective, they seem cool. From a power creep perspective, oh boy. Let me know your thoughts on the Serial 7 Brave Heroes. We still need a couple questions answered regarding our new skills, but for the most part, we generally know what these units can do. Has this reveal changed your mind on summoning, or even who your free pick is going to be? I did not have any COO plans this year, which is why I spent all my orbs on plus 10ing Summer Lara Shell. Smart decision, I know. I do still have enough orbs to get at least one spark though, and that's probably what I'll do. I like trying to get one of everyone for the collection, but I'm gonna need some luck to do that this year. I'll be back with a full breakdown of the banner plus 0 in a few days. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.